Hamlin looks to the inside. Elliott diving, trying to block. Down the back stretch again. Less than 3 to go. The bumper to the back of the 24. Elliott goes around. Hamlin takes the lead and the caution comes out.
Get it going, get it going.
24 and the 11 having a difference.
You can hear the crowd.
Chase Elliott, once again so close to his first win in the Monster Energy Cup Series. Denny Hamlin fighting for a spot in the championship 4. Just after the checkered flag came out, going down the backstretch, you see the 24 showing his displeasure and how he was raced by Denny Hamlin. And then it was time to talk about it.
Chase Elliott, you wrecked me, clearly. That's what he's saying.
They just took a heck of a beating.
Boyer and Newman going at it.
Well, we'll show you why.
Wow.
And what happened after the checkered flag between these two.
All right.
And unlike other All-Star games, these fellas have to race each other every week of the season. Let's set that aside. This is on the cool-down lap after the checkered flag.
Wow. Well, obviously something took place before all this.
Bam.
But Boyer not
Look at
happy
Boyer
at all.
Look like a machine.
I was not a lap down, you dumb.
He's not going to be happy. No, he did
I think
kind
I
of make
would.
a little move contact there.
Yeah, that's what you said. Come on, let's see if they're going to fight. I want to see this.
A little discussion. A few little words here. He's like, hey, dude, one of us is going to win. Well, we thought Toyota might have a chance to get their first victory here at Michigan, but didn't happen.
Oh, here we go. Nothing wrong with controversy.
Well, he did get the helmets off. I don't know, that might be a smart move on Vickers' part.
Yeah, if you're going to punch you better leave the helmet on, Andy.
I saw somebody grab was it Kyle Busch by the helmet?
Yeah, I remember that.
I think I'd rather have it off.
Kyle Busch finished third today. Kyle, the fans saw a great battle, but what were you so angry with Brian about?
He hung on my right rear quarter panel all the way down the front straightaway and gave the win to the 88 car. He slowed us down so much. He had no idea the 88 car was coming. And the 88 just drove right by both of us on the outside because Brian Vickers was trying to slow both of us down. Just stupid.
30th career victory for Brad Keselowski.
Boyer
as
not
Boyer
happy.
and Jones.
They're going to have a little body work to do.
I give so much credit to Brad Keselowski.
Gas you right in front of the whole field, you dumb. Do that next time? That's what you want me to do? Come on, Eric. You're smart, man.
You
were none too pleased at the end of this race with Eric Jones. Tell me what you said to him.
It's just, what are you going to do? You turn him right in front of the field and hurt him? I mean, he puts you in a bad situation. I lifted for him, cost me 3 spots right there. We should have finished second. Everybody knows that. That was dumb on his part. I mean, next time, I guess that's what he wants, just go down and wreck him in front of the field. But, I mean, you got to run like that. You just don't move up. I should have just wrecked him, I guess. But our rush truck center forward was fast all weekend long. It's, God, that pisses me off. But, you know, all in all, it was.
You know, payback sometimes. Well, a lot of times it happens around this place. Tony Stewart just got paid back for what he did earlier to Brian Vickers.
So the attitude kind of, what the heck, I'll let him go and then pay it off.
And I can guarantee you that.
All clear.
All Vickers has been thinking about since he got turned by Stewart was getting in a position to do this.
Looking for him. Where's that 14?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is early. Okay, no, this is just now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Vickers comes from the left side of the racetrack, or from on your screen comes from the right side of the racetrack across to run in the back of Tony.
Now, this is what happened earlier in the race. We're on board with Stewart. That's Vickers up ahead. They're going down to 11. Stewart just leans on him and keeps leaning and just pushed Vickers into the tires down there.
And you know what, really, and Tony, and we've seen this twice, Tony got on him and would not get off of him. I mean, pushed him. We saw it a little later with Joey Logano. There was no other cars around. It was just a one-on-one, and Joey's like, I'm tired of messing with you. I just pushed you out of the way. That took out one car, the car that was messing with him just like this.
Going in the corner right there, he just gets a touch. Right, ooh, and the back end gets off the gas. Was that Tony Stewart that he made contact with Robbie? And through the grass.
Boy, those roof laps really did their job then, because that car wanted to take off.
It sure did, and
you can see that Robbie Gordon is having a what appears to be a heated conversation with Tony Stewart.
Hey, knock it off. You're fucking out of here. Take off. Hey, enough.
Daniel Suarez did not get the lap he wanted. He ends up 28th. He and Michael McDowell right on top of each other on the speed chart. And after round one of qualifying, Suarez went looking for McDowell to have a conversation, and Michael McDowell went after him. Punches were thrown. Crew chief attempting to break it up. Eventually they did, and they had a conversation. What was said, Jamie?
Well, I'm joined by Michael McDowell right now. You saw him, he had his helmet on, and it's almost like you knew that was coming. What happened on the track that led to that altercation?
No, I always have my helmet when I get in and out. It's just an old habit. Just miscommunication on the racetrack. We all kind of waited till the end, and then you just had a lot of traffic. So just unfortunate. You know, he was upset that I held him up on his good lap, and then he tried to crash us, and I just didn't appreciate it.
Will you guys talk about this before the race Sunday?
Yeah, for sure. It's just heat of the moment stuff. It's racing, you know, it's these shorter practice sessions, shorter qualifying, getting late going through tech, intensity ramps up, so it's all part of it.
Thank you. Let's go over to Vince.
And with Daniel Suarez, what's your take on what happened there?
It's just lack of respect. You know, track position is very big in these races these days, and you have to qualify well to have a good stall on pit road and able to have a good start in the race. The race is long, so you can always overcome that, but it's just a lack of respect. Everyone here in the garage knows that second lap is a good one. You have to try to get out of the way if somebody's coming in the hard lap. He just didn't. He killed me in one corner. I thought he was going to get out of the way in the second corner, and he didn't. And I almost wrecked him, and then he was disappointed because I was trying to wreck him afterwards, but that's power racing.
Thanks, Daniel. Guys.
Heated words and punches thrown. Now, this was the aftermath when finally they calmed down and talked it over.
And Mike, you saw this building. I mean, the time's running out. They have less time this year than they've ever had before in these rounds, and they were
A 4-car jam session that we've been watching for a lap or two has ended up with Kurt Busch in the wall in the number 2. He was racing with Tony Stewart, Greg Biffle, and younger brother Kyle.
That was predictable. I mean, these guys were not cutting each other any slack, and they'd been doing it for a number of laps, and it was going to happen sooner or later.
This was coming off turn 4.
Now, Tony had already passed Kurt a couple of times, and he passed him back, and this time he just didn't. Kurt tried to come up in front of Tony, and he said, we're not having any part of that.
Yeah, there was not a lot of give and take right there.
Not at all.
Denny Hamlin in the midst of that as well. Busch comes in as they're looking at the damage to Stewart's car. Kurt comes up to offer his opinion.
And guess what? They got the 2 car parked
for the day.
Meet me at the Oval office, please.
Kurt, what happened on the racetrack and then on pit road?
You know, pit road was just me stopping there to make a point and only making the situation worse, so that was my fault. But out on the racetrack with Tony, you know, we raced 10, 15 laps side by side. He didn't give an inch, and I was making sure that I stayed off of him because earlier in the day, he tried to wreck us at 2 restarts. So I'm not sure where he came from today. It's really confusing on that side of it. But he did get mission accomplished. He wrecked us, and I have no idea what it stems from. So tough day for us and our Miller Lite Dodge. And then just to hear that Bill France Jr. passed away, that's a tough moment. So I feel bad that, you know, some of this is going to be overshadowed what I did. But the most important thing is the France family today. So condolences to them. And, you know, for me, we just didn't finish again by a guy not giving an inch. Plenty of guys behind me all stacked up. He had let a few guys go. Don't know where he's coming from today. So we're all real confused by.
Brian Vickers goes spinning in turn 1 after the checkered flag. Here's a look at it.
Whoa. Well, these guys were getting, and gals were getting very aggressive.
Well, in Harvick and Kenseth, they had fresh tires.
Now watch this. I think I see where the, yeah. Harv said, hey, bud, save me a little room next time.
And evidently, Harvick did not like the way that Vickers raced Danica, so when they got to the checker flag and passed it, he just spun him out to show him that he didn't appreciate that.
Afterwards, even after that.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it. Short track racing. We talked about emotion. We talked about blocking and bumping.
Harvick up about a half a line. Around goes Harvick. Around goes Ty Dillon. And Matt Crafton's able to get through.
Chase Elliott gets right in the side of Kevin Harvick.
A lot of damage to the 88.
Third position on the inside. See Kevin Harvick and Ty Dillon going at it on the backstretch.
Not happy about this restart. And the way they were racing. And around, the 3 is trying to get that 14 turned around.
Don't get the bad end of it here.
I think he's trying to spin him out. He hadn't any luck yet, but it looks like he's not giving up. That'll probably earn both those drivers
a visit,
a trip to the NASCAR trailer after this race.
I think they're going to have to make a visit, potentially.
Probably as well as the RCR trailer, I would think. Winning that down, or they took the winning net down for him. He took it down.
I believe it was down. He's parked right in front of the 3, so the 3 can't get in and stall.
The official's doing his best to maintain order, doing a great.
They're going to stand guard.
Stand around their driver. And that won't work.
No, that's.
Kevin Harvick, interesting incident. What happened?
3 just dumped me. Exactly the reason why I'm leaving RCR, because you got those kids coming up and they got no respect for what they do in this sport, and they've had everything fed to them with a spoon. So I cut him slack all day, and you know, he just dive bombs me in there, dumps me. So just got to thank all these Anderson Syrup guys for everything that they do. It's a shame you got to get taken out by some rich kid like that.
He couldn't get his slide job to work quite as good as a lot of contact.
Oh no, there they go.
Didn't work out for either one of them. That was his slide job down in 1 and 2 to take the spot away from Kenseth. Now Kenseth tries to drive in hard, slides up, with contact. I have to call that racing. I mean, I try to throw the blame there. That's just racing. Kenseth does slide up into Stewart a little. Tony comes down, trying to pin him down a little bit. That creates contact that gets Kenseth sideways.
Yeah, but I thought Tony had to get down a little bit. We've talked about how just on the exit right there's not a lot of room. The groove's fairly narrow.
Tony not very happy.
Whoa. Gosh, looks familiar. Well, we know what Tony thinks. That's a perfect strike.
That's a nice throw.
You just used one hand, didn't you, Dave?
Yeah, I'm right.
I think he's got both hands. Look at him.
And the southpaw, too.
Confrontations. This was a little bit later on in the race, coming down the inside, getting past Tony Stewart, and then a little nudge from Stewart in the number 20 car. Saw Kenny Irwin spinning once again. 2 spins. Let's take another look at that. Down comes Irwin down the inside, a brave maneuver to get past. Just a slight contact from Tony Stewart, and round went Kenny Irwin. Well, they both survived that one, but it wasn't going to be forever, because Irwin got his revenge a little bit later in the race, lap 147, and this time Tony Stewart backed heavily into the wall. Well, perhaps Irwin on board with him now. Take a look at this, giving a little nudge to Tony Stewart, perhaps getting his revenge for the earlier spins. These two used to race against each other in sprint cars. Tony Stewart said afterwards it was much the same in those days as well, but he was not very impressed, and as you can see, Tony Stewart here was out of his car throwing his gloves at Kenny Irwin, and in fact picked up an official reprimand from the NASCAR organization. This is what Tony Stewart had to say at the time.
The first time was my fault, and it was an accident. I had my spotter go down and tell his spotter that it was an accident, and then he gave me a hard time getting by. The second time we got by him, and he started catching us after that. I mean, after that, we were a little slower than he was, and I moved up to let him around. He hits me off at 2, so I hit him back in 3 and 4 and spun him, so he took me on again.